here with a sew along. So you guys may have noticed that I dropped a new fall pattern, which is pattern 8222 with Simplicity, and I'm really excited because it's a pair of skinny jeans. Now if you are a curvy girl or even a regular size girl and you have shopped for jeans, you know that sometimes it can be really difficult to find a pair of jeans that fit you in the butt and in the waist and in the thighs all at the same time. So I thought, well, instead of getting frustrated buying jeans, I'm just gonna design and make my own, and I did. So we're gonna be doing a sew along. I'm gonna show you how to make the pair of jeans that are in my new pattern. So one of the really cool things about my pattern is that we have backs for the curvy girl, the regular, and a slim fit. So you get to choose depending on your body type. So this is how it's gonna work. This video is going to be short. We're going to talk about the pattern, we're going to talk about the size you should cut, the fabric you need, and all of the supplies that you need for the next several weeks. And then every Wednesday, I'm going to post a new video with some more steps until we completely finish our jeans. So it won't be overwhelming. We'll do it step by step. Now, aside from the usual scissors and pins, chalk, and any marking tools you need, you're also going to need my pattern. You're going to need some denim buttons or jean buttons, some jean rivets. This package comes with the tool to apply the rivets, so it's kind of handy. Some denim needles, and a metal zipper. Now in the introductory post that is already on the blog and linked in this blog post, I gave a bunch of links to options for fabrics. Now in the back of the pattern envelope, it tells you how many options you have for fabric choices, and it also gives you a stretch guide so that you can see if your denim fabric or stretch twill or stretch woven has enough stretch for this pattern. And I'm going to show you how to test for that now. I'm going to use just this little piece of fabric that I have, but when you buy your fabric, or if you're at the fabric store and you picked up the pattern and you just want to make sure, from this arrow to this arrow is where you want your fabric to stretch. So I put my fabric on the one arrow, and then on cross grain, I pull to make sure that it reaches and that there's plenty of stretch. This fabric has a nice amount of stretch. You want to make sure that you have at least 3 to 5% stretch in or spandex lycra in your fabric, whichever one you choose, whether it's a stretch woven or an actual stretch denim, just so that it fits comfortably and hugs your body nicely. Now let's go over all of the pattern pieces that you need to have cut. This is pattern piece number 10, which is the front of our jeans. This pattern piece is going to be the same for everybody, and you just choose whatever size. Now, for example, sometimes what I'll do is, I know my waist is much smaller than my hips, so I will look at the finished garment measurements. This is the measurement you want to go based on, okay? So I know the back of the envelope gives you basic measurements, but when I cut a pattern, I go based on these measurements here. Now the back pattern piece comes in 3 different choices. It comes in slim fit, average fit, and then curvy fit. So according to your body shape, that's the one that you're going to choose. Now you're going to choose your size based on the list given here for finished measurements. So for example, if I wanted to cut the 12 curvy, I can see that it's 36.5 inches at the hip once I'm done sewing it. I also have to remember that I'm using a very stretchy fabric, so I want to account for the amount that is going to stretch over my body. So if my hips, for example, was a 42, I wouldn't cut an 1842 because that's going to be just what I need. I would cut a smaller size. I would cut the 16, which is 40 inches at the hip, so that when I wear them, they stretch over my body nicely. And because denim tends to stretch as you wear it, you don't want to end up with a saggy knee or a saggy butt or a saggy anything when you finish your jeans. So for example, in the slim fit, you can see that size 12 is 35.5 inches. And if for the average, the size 12 is 36 inches. So you can see that a certain amount of ease and room and curvature is given to each pattern piece for the back according to the shape of your body. So you want to go based, like I said, on these measurements here. Also dependent on how tight you like your jeans. I like my clothes very fitted, especially my skinny jeans. I like them to feel tight on my body. So I always go down a size. But if you don't want that tight fit and you want to just cut the actual size that you are, you can absolutely do that and then take them in once you do a test fit. Another thing that you might be able to do is cut a size 10 at the waist and then grade out to a 12 at the hip, for example, or 6 to 8, depending on how small your waist is in comparison to the largest part of your hips. Here is pattern piece 17C, which is the one that I cut. This is the back for the curvy fit. And then I'm going to show you really quickly here. We have 17A, which is the back for the slim fit. So let's say that you are not that curvy, you want just a very slim fit, you're pretty much straight up and down, then I would cut this one. If you are, I guess, are the average shaped woman, I don't know what that is, but whatever that average size fit woman is, you would cut 17B. You're also going to need to cut pattern piece number 20, which is the right front waistband, and you're going to be cutting 2 of fabric and 1 of interfacing. You're going to cut out pattern piece 19, which is the back yoke, and you're going to cut out 2. Pattern piece number 21, which is the left front waistband, and you're also going to cut 2 of fabric and 1 of interfacing. You're going to cut your coin pocket, right, the front pocket, which is pattern piece number 13, and you're only cutting out 1 of these. You're going to cut out pattern piece number 16, which is our underlap, and you're going to cut out only 1 of these. Pattern piece number 22, which is the belt loops, and you're going to cut out 1 of these. Pattern piece number 18, which is our back pockets, and you're going to cut out 2 of these. You're going to cut out the fly front, which is 2 pieces, so you're going to cut out 2. You're going to cut out pattern piece number 12, which is the yoke front, and you're also going to cut out 2. Then you're going to cut out pattern piece number 14, which is the front yoke and pocket, so you're going to cut 2. And then out of a cotton lining fabric, you're going to cut out our pocket lining, which is also called the pocket bag, and you're going to be cutting out 2. Now you want to make sure, and trust me when I say this, you want to transfer every notch, every dot, every line, every marking that you see. You want to make sure that you transfer it, because it's going to be really imperative when we're sewing that you have all of your notches cut, all of your dots marked, so that when we start putting our jeans together, you know exactly where every piece is going to go. Now I want you to go ahead and cut out all of your pattern pieces. I want you to cut out your lining, and I want you to go ahead and cut and interface 1 of each left and right waistbands. I like to mark mine, as you can see, just so that it's easy for me to reference when I'm putting them together. So that's just a quick little tip for you, is I write an L for left and an R for right. Now go ahead and cut, interface, and get everything ready so we can start sewing next week. Okay, make sure you cut all your pattern pieces out. Make sure you interface anything that needs to be interfaced. Grab any supplies that you might be missing, and I'll see you next week. Peace.